Okay, so I'm here today with Ushi, and I don't know much about her. I just we exchanged a few text messages, and she found me on LinkedIn. I'm Dr. Velazquez, and we are here today talking about business solutions for functional neurological disorders, for functional illnesses, the pandemic that is happening in the world, global pandemic. So, Ushi, we're talking about a global business, global opportunities here. And let us see. This is mainly for healthcare professionals, wellness professionals, and also for patients because there are new career opportunities. There is research happening. We are forming a coalition between patients and professionals. Usha, tell us about you. Who are you? Are we here together? What does your company do? How much time have you been with the company? Yeah, tell us.
Yeah.
Welcome.
Hello. So I'm Uche Ferguson. I've been in healthcare for 20 years. I started off as a registered nurse. In 2007, started going more into the leadership side of healthcare. I've consistently done direct patient care, but also started to realize that there was definitely a need to bring operations and efficiency and logistics that made more sense for healthcare businesses. So got my MBA in 2012 and and I realized that a lot of the companies that I was working with were healthcare, small businesses, startups, working with sometimes individuals that did not have a clinical background but needed support in healthcare. I've had a background as a COO for a staffing agency, VP of operations for a mobile wound care clinic. I've done home health, brain injury rehab, telephone triage, PD, and geriatrics. So I've seen a little bit of everything in healthcare. So now my focus is mainly to help businesses, specifically in the wellness, fitness, healthcare space, just working with their patients so that they can focus on patient care. And then we work and support on the administrative back end, billing, compliance, strategy, things like that.
Wonderful. Thank you so
Yeah,
much. Wow, I'm impressed. Like
thank
you
you.
were talking and I was thanking God for like putting you in our path, in our team. Okay, great. So we can really use all of it. And I'm
Mhm,
not just talking for myself, I'm talking for all my colleagues, my mentors,
mhm,
acupuncture, physiotherapists, all clinicians and everyone who is in the healthcare and wellness service. Why? Because the population that they are getting the most, that we are getting the most as healthcare and
mhm,
wellness practitioners and support team is functional neurological disorders. Is the
mhm.
commonest illness affecting the nervous system and is the commonest illness affecting humankind these days.
Yeah,
Depression, anxiety, functional neurological disorders, fibromyalgia, chronic pain,
yeah.
and even disease prevention. Can you hear the background noise?
No.
Okay. And also illness prevention. Why? I mean, we're talking about diabetes, high blood pressure. Why? Because good and bad choices in health come from cognitive mind, my
Yeah,
brain, right? I want to eat so much chocolate and a cake, and I want to eat salt. It's mental decision. So
yeah.
we are talking about everything. And here you are with all this expertise. Now, I work, I cover, right? Human existence, mind, body, the health of the body, wound
Mhm.
care, right? This is body.
Yeah.
Emotions, psychology, interpersonal relationships, depression, anxiety. I mentioned that. And also spirituality. What is
Okay.
spirituality in healthcare? Is where is your mission? What are you here to do? How do you
Mhm.
contribute to society? How do you feel happy and realized in this existence? So this is spirituality. This is mission. So I ask you, my dear Ushi, You do many things. Where is your heart? Where
Mhm.
should we start? Do you understand what I do? Do you understand what our community is about? And where is your heart? And how can we
Mhm.
vibrate together in this mission?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I understand. So I would say even as growing up, I've always known like to me, healthcare should start more naturally. And even when I work with my patients, I've always told them, especially because a lot of the patients I work with are geriatric patients and they're very set in their ways. And they'll just tell me straight out, I have joint pain and these are the things that are going on. And as a registered nurse, I can't say anything outside of what the physician has provided. But I do tell them, there are natural ways to take care of certain things. So when we're talking about constipation versus saying, here, take Senna, I'm always quick to tell them, well, have you looked at increasing fiber? Or are you doing prune juice? Or sometimes a little bit of butter in your prune juice can help. Even when it comes to what they're doing for joint pain, really found that turmeric makes a difference. So I give suggestions that I can give because again, as a registered nurse, I can't prescribe. I can assess and, relate that information to the physician, but I've always been very big, even myself, not being very big about taking meds first. I don't do any over the counter medication, or sorry, let me put this, I don't have any prescription meds, and I only take over the counter medications when I have exhausted all possibilities. And usually that's very rare. Because I want when it is time that I'm gonna need something, if I've tried all the functional and supplements and it can't help, that's when, man-made. So I definitely feel that what you put into the world by what you say, how you think. Like manifestation is a big thing for me. I definitely feel like what my positivity also affects me as a person and my body. And, if I'm feeling well, if I'm depressed, if I'm sad, all of it's not only just mental, but it's also your surroundings. So how you balance all of that makes a difference. So that's my take on healthcare. I don't know a lot about what you do. I looked into a little bit, but I knew that we would have a conversation and talk a little bit more.
Yeah, perfect, perfect. Thank you. So what I'm taking with me as a summary is nature, natural,
Mhm.
right? Holistic.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
very much in the right path because anything that is reductionist, anything that separates us from nature, anything that is too chemical, too much
Mhm.
synthetic, too many
Yeah.
chemicals, anything that doesn't look at the greater uh, planet and world and universe will not do as
Yeah.
well and as deep. And of course, we do have the chemicals for those are very concentrated and they target like something specific for when the other things, right? Because there are bigger problems and smaller problems.
Yeah.
Good. Okay, so we're on the same page. Let me tell you from this holistic, integrative mind, body, emotions, spirituality, nature perspective that
Mhm.
looks at the functioning without pain, with a good diet, no
Mhm.
cancer, no diabetes, no high blood pressure, healthy body, longevity, this kind of very holistic approach. I have a few things. I'm licensed in the states of Colorado and Delaware. I
Okay.
have two medical licenses. I'm a neurologist,
Mhm.
right? And then I can get other licenses. I do lots of social work, education, social activism, knocking on doors, bringing this holistic approach supported by science. When it comes to, okay, what modalities do you use? Yeah, we use modalities that influence the mind and modalities that influence the emotions, modalities that do prevention and healing,
Mhm.
and modalities that influence society, help businesses, help individuals through connection with our higher self or true self. When it comes to chemicals, when it comes to substances that are more powerful and chemicals, I use the natural ones. I don't prescribe anymore uh, For example, gabapentin,
Mhm.
oxycodone. My God, God forbid.
Yeah.
I don't prescribe anymore the chemicals, huh? So what I use for this neurological function, interpersonal connection with the world and a good life are natural medicines that come from aboriginal tribes, from
Mhm.
Mother Nature, from the Amazon jungle, from the Andes Mountains, and from other hubs of
Mhm.
natural medicines with high cure potential throughout the world. I'm even investigating some of the natural medicines from Africa.
Okay.
Now, in the state of Colorado, in the state of California, in Oregon, these natural medicines have been approved by politicians at a state level because they are in the forefront of recognizing this, the science of the old, the
Yeah.
science of nature, the science of ancestry. We are talking about number one, cannabis, right?
Mhm.
Cannabis for pain, cannabis for anxiety, cannabis for depression,
Yeah.
cannabis for many things. And then many other medicines I'm going to name in a moment. So, when we look at these chemicals, at these natural chemicals given to us by Mother Nature, we do prevention of addiction and we do education about healthy use. Everything, even water, chocolate, sugar, salt, oils, everything natural and chemical, stronger, synthesized. We need to know how to use it.
Mhm.
There have been cases of addiction to cannabis, right? Like people use it too much and they are in the couch eating
Mhm.
pizza, right? Like so
Yeah.
we do training, we teach people how to use it. These are ancient methodologies.
Yeah.
Now, I mentioned cannabis. I work with cocoa for gastrointestinal health.
Okay.
Cocoa is an ancient medicine from the Inca Empire, the Maya Empire, and the Aztecs, and also African Aboriginal tribes that use it for the war, for
Mhm.
hunting, for dancing. So, cocoa, it has a lot of scientific evidence supporting it for cardiovascular, cerebrovascular, gastrointestinal, and inflammatory health, anti
Mhm.
inflammatory. The other ones I'm going to mention quickly. Cambo frog venom is a detoxifying venom. You use it as if it was a vaccine. So many benefits. We can talk more throughout the upcoming weeks about all these. Uh, Washuma is a cactus from the Andes Mountain. Ayahuasca is a brew from the Amazon jungle. And I use also the natural coca leaves, the coca that they turn into cocaine.
Okay.
We use the leaves for praying. It's naturally it's one of the medicines, the leaves, the plants that was given to us. They say for praying, for connecting to the spirits. And then we
Mhm.
also make teas. These teas, if you go to Peru or Colombia,
Mhm.
countries in the Andes, they give you this tea because it helps combat sickness, functional symptoms associated with sickness, headache, GI. So we do a little bit of this tea and we use it for health benefits.
Mhm.
So these are the and I also work with the sacred mushrooms, the psilocybin containing mushrooms. There
Okay.
are three states in the United States, Oregon, California, and Colorado, that can work with all these medicines. And there are other states that already work with cannabis. There are all states work, for example, with cocoa. The cocoa. So there is so much that we could do just with education, with
Mhm.
psychoeducation. Um, there is so much that we could do with the medicines. We could even do research. So this is a little bit of what I do. So now
Okay.
check in with yourself and see what comes to mind, right? As to ideas, suggestions, more
Yeah.
questions. And then I reserve 30 minutes for the conversation. So we have 10 more minutes. See how you
Okay.
want to use them. Okay? At a
Okay.
good time.
Okay. Just wanting to know, I guess, what does your day-to-day look like on with R&R, my business? How could we help support what you're currently doing?
Yes, so you are coming at a wonderful time because, well, currently I have businesses in Brazil, Peru, the United States, and Spain. Are you international or currently are you only in the United States?
So I outsource my staff. So I have some domestic and some in Nigeria and in the Philippines. So I'm trying to make sure, one, I love being able to give back to my community with better jobs, and it started off at first with people that I work with. I worked with one of my main ladies. She's my lead operations for 2 and 3 years now. So now we're starting to grow. So I always like to tell people when they're asking who works for us, we have people that work here in Texas, and then we have people in Nigeria and the Philippines. So I would love to be more international, but most of all of my clients currently are in the US.
Okay, perfect. In Africa, my connections are in Tunisia, Morocco, and South Africa. So we can talk
Okay.
about that in another conversation, okay?
Okay.
And I have also connections in Australia, which would be looking more
Okay.
towards the Philippines, right? The east side of
Yeah,
the
yeah.
planet. So we can talk about that in other. Let us talk about the United States because that's
Okay.
where your presence is the strongest now. Currently, in the United States, I am at a stage where I am announcing my practice, what I do, which is very unique. You can count with the fingers of a hand the doctors that
Mhm.
are doing what I'm doing. Of course, there has been some other teachers before me. Um, Peter Levine works a lot with nature. Um, oh my God. Now I'm forgetting a little bit the names of the teachers that work with the psychedelics. I can tell you about that later, but I'm one of the first few that work with psychedelics. I am one of the first few also that work with education, integration, social activism
Mhm.
at a state level, at a community level.
Okay.
So right now I'm trying to let people know what I'm doing. I think that's the first step. I'm a researcher. I don't do marketing,
Mm,
right? I
mhm.
don't do outreach, right?
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
a researcher and I am a clinician and I have become an educator.
Yeah.
And now I work with psychedelic medicinal plants and other natural substances, which is also new. It doesn't happen too often in the
Yeah.
healthcare. So, who is our clientele? So, I think as a first step, you and I can team up in letting the United States know
Mm,
what we do. And then we can design our strategy in another meeting. But what I'm thinking is we have the states that use some psychedelics. We
yes.
have some states that use all psychedelics. We have some other states that use only cannabis.
Yeah.
Huh? And we have all the states that have a functional crisis and need education.
Yeah.
And education is for patients, families, healthcare professionals, and politicians because the
Okay.
system needs to change bottom up and top down.
Up now. Yeah.
So I think right now we could start working a little bit more on outreach. And as we design a good outreach campaign, we can put together like services and we can learn more about what we do and we can see where we team up. That's what's coming to mind. I wonder what's vibrating within you.
Yeah. Everything that we've discussed, of course, I want to take back and just try to come up with something that I can present to you on a strategy and what that looks like. Yeah. Because everything you're saying makes sense. It's definitely my wheelhouse, like the back end, trying to help support you. If for some reason you're asking for something that's a lot more like marketing strategy heavy, then what we normally do with our clients is that we will vet maybe 4 marketing companies and we bring it down to about 2 because we understand that you're busy trying to treat your patients, trying to, be the visionary, then we would only present two of those companies or any vendors. If you say, hey, Uche, I'm very interested in looking into this. Could you go out and find me vendors? So you wouldn't have to vet those. We would just go out, use your criteria, vet those individuals or those vendors for you, and then present those to you, like the top two or three. Um, so we are pretty much your right hand in the service lines and what direction you're wanting to go in. I would, after this meeting, present you with what I'm thinking, pricing, all of that. And then you can just tell me, yes, this makes sense, or I want to go in a different direction, or yes, I like the strategy, but I want to tweak some things. The more I know about what you're looking for, the better I can present a strategy for you.
Perfect. Yes, I'm learning right about these things and terms. I think marketing and outreach, they have commonalities, but I think they have differences, right?
Mhm,
Marketing is like putting a face and showing to the world,
mhm.
and outreach is saying like, "Ushi, hey, look, I do this,"
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
So it's like outreach and it's like marketing. Yeah, you think about it. Let me tell you one last thing.
yeah.
TV, the big media, and of course social media and the news, but right, why psychedelics are a hot topic, mental health is a hot topic always,
Mhm,
functional health, how do we function as a society is a hot topic. Remind me to send you a summary of the videos of some of the diseases and the illness that are going on around the world.
okay,
Some of them are pretty scary, and
okay.
I am sure that the TVs and the news, it's happening more and more around the world, is very interested in catching these stories, being
Yeah.
at the forefront of these fast changes that are taking
Mhm,
place within mental health, pharmacology, the pharmaceutical companies, coca leaves or cocaine, or like
mhm.
mysterious disease that is being healed with psychedelics, or the second wave of the psychedelics revolution,
Yeah.
right? So if you have some people in your team who are happy to knock on doors of the media, I have some connections and I have some ideas, so that's also something. Hey, I'm someone who thinks big. I look at
Yeah.
things through the microscope, but I also think big and look at the forest.
Mhm.
So keep me posted. I'm
Okay.
excited.
Yeah. Thank you.
Anything else? Any final closing words?
Um, I guess, on a day-to-day, on the outreach, I think maybe once I send you the strategy and what I'm thinking, because I don't know if what you're needing requires a full-time staff or team, if you just need something more part-time. What are you thinking there?
Always like, because it's an interpersonal relationship, right?
Mhm.
Business and collaboration. I always like to take it as we commonly do in our interpersonal relationships. Imagine a boyfriend, a girlfriend, like you meet them
Yeah.
once, you get to know them, then you kind of start part-time, right?
Okay. Yeah,
And
yeah,
I
yeah.
think little by little, like full time, and you live
Yeah.
together, and then like
That
you're
makes sense.
talking every day, right?
Yeah.
So I
That
like
makes
it little by little, right? I'm a doctor, so I always prescribe like the smallest dose
sense.
first,
Yeah.
right?
Okay.
So
That makes
that's
sense.
my principle.
Okay. I will create something. Give me 48 hours. I'll email over just based off of our conversation how I think we can help support you. And then we can get on a call. I usually will send out the proposal within 48 hours and then I try to schedule a follow-up within another 48 hours. So maybe next Monday, same time if it works for you. And that gives you enough time to review everything that I sent over. So I'll just schedule another. If you want, are you okay with Zoom? I mean, with Google, or do you want another Zoom meeting?
Let us think. Let us think. I'm going on a trip tomorrow
Okay.
through Brazil. I don't know if the trip is going to take like 7 or 10 days, and
Mhm.
where I'm
Okay.
going to have the connection for the meeting,
Okay.
what platform. Let us touch base every day via text message.
Okay.
Send
Yeah.
me the email, do your thing, right? Your follow your strategy, and then we can touch base daily via text message and check in and then
Yeah.
schedule. Feel
Yeah.
free. I'm happy to hear from you.
Okay. Thank you so much.
Thank
Thank
you.
you for
Much
your
health and prosperity. Bye now.
time. Bye.